working through my inner critic was the most freeing experience I got in life. Inner critic is an internalized voice from somebody from your past. So maybe you had a perfectionist parent, maybe you were bullied at school, maybe you had a teacher who was critical. This is a voice that is in your head that is a residue of that voice in your past, in your childhood. Our mind thinks that inner critic is there to protect us. The logic was that if I criticize myself, it will spare me the criticism of others because I can predict what others are going to tell me. I heard an opinion that, oh, but I need my inner critic because it helps me to perform better. But guys, this is not true. It's simply not true. There are studies which are showing a positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. They check which group responds better, whether it's praised group or the group that is criticized. And each time the studies show that children who are praised perform better because they know that there is a reward. We have a reward-based brain. When we are building new habits, we also need to set up ourselves for reward. So now imagine that you have this voice that is continuously telling you you are not doing something good enough, that you are not good enough. Do you feel motivated? Obviously not. First thing to work with inner critic overall is to acknowledge it. By now, I'm skilled enough to be able to filter it out. So I know which voice in my head is inner critic, which is like the residue of my past, and which voice in my head is my instinct or something that is a constructive feedback. Maybe you should do that better. The more you do that, the less of an inner critic you have overall. So this is also a nice path to go through because initially it seems super heavy to go through your inner critic because it feels like a voice that I felt safe with. And this is a voice I always engaged with. And how am I going to do it now in my mind if I'm not going to listen to this voice? But it is possible to live without an inner critic. I challenge you to go to your most confident friend that you have or somebody who seems very grounded and secure within themselves and ask them whether they have inner critic inside their head. And the answer will be no. Because people who are confident, people who are taking charge, people who believe in themselves, even if it's scary, even if it's a change, even if they had the voice, they are not listening to it because they understand that this voice is undermining them. And if you want to create something long lasting, if you want to create a change, if you want to start building confidence, if you want to become more grounded, you have to have a good relationship with yourself. And overly critical relationship is not good relationship. When we approach inner critic, let's say you gave a presentation at work, and my question is whether afterwards you think about all the things that you've done wrong, or are you engaging with a voice of, I showed up, I delivered a speech, I delivered a presentation for the first time. Okay, it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect the first time we try it, but I know what I should improve. Okay, so there is this and this and this that could be better. I see a growth path here, but it is an improvement. The most important part is that I tried, I did, I showed up, I prepared, and the next time I will do it better. This is the difference between listening to your inner critic, which is actually inhibiting your growth and keeping you stuck with the idea and limiting belief of not being good enough. And I repeat, there is no such thing as not being good enough. If you feel not good enough, it's in your mind because you compare yourself to others, because you listen to your inner critic, because somebody in the past told you that you're not living life as you should because they have different idea for life. Or maybe you're just not listening to yourself. Maybe instead of investing in things that are interesting to you, that you are passionate about, you are trying to fulfill expectations of other people. From my personal experience, I studied engineering. I'm not meant to do engineering. I was never meant to do engineering. I have certain affinity interest with genetics, but rest of it, I'm not good at math, I'm not good in physics, I'm not good in chemistry. I learned because everything can be learned, but I was going against myself. If you compare me to a person who has a true interest in that, I'm always on a lost position because I wasn't building up on my innate skills. I wasn't building up on what I am good at. I was building up on an idea I created in my mind that would make me feel smart enough or good enough. I wanted an accomplishment that would prove something to others. Inner critic is easy if you consciously choose that you can let it go. If you start questioning those thoughts, is it helping me or not? Is it my voice inside of me, or is it internalized voice of somebody from my past? And then when you start filtering your inner critic through those filters, start seeing what kind of impact it has on your life, whether this is slowing you down or whether this is helping you, your life becomes easier. If you have any questions, let me know in the caption. For those from Instagram, welcome and subscribe. Those not from Instagram, also welcome and subscribe. And if you're struggling with inner critic, if you want help, in the bio there is also a link to work with me. Thanks for today and have a great day.